Welcome to all. I'm Akhila Ashokan, MTech student of IES College of Engineering. Today we are dealing with one of the important topic in geotechnical engineering, which is the shear strength of the soil. Before moving into the theories and all, I'm giving a general idea about the topic. Any geotechnical structure like slope, embankment, foundation and all, it is basic to find the ultimate limit or ultimate strength of that structure. That means till the failure how much it takes a load. For example, landslide. Landslide is caused by the instability of the soil. How it is happening? Every material have some capacity to carry the weight. That is, if I ask you to carry some 10 kg of load, you can easily carry it. And I am asking you to carry a weight of 20 kilogram, still you carry it. But if I ask you to carry a load of 100 kilogram, you cannot carry it. So you have some limit. Likewise, soil also have some inherent limit, which is the shear strength. Now let us move into the content. I have included the definition of shear strength, factors affecting shear strength, practical applications of shear strength, more Coulomb theory, principal planes and principal stresses, more circle and some problems regarding this topic in my presentation. Then let us move into the definition. The shear strength of a soil mass is the internal resistance per unit area that the soil mass can offer to resist failure and sliding along any plane inside it. Now consider a slope. Some natural slope and along this surface some instability is happening. That is why the shaded part is getting separated from the rest of the soil. That is, this curved surface is becoming critical surface and is known as the failure surface, this critical surface. Along this surface there is a resistance. When the instability happens, the shaded portion will move in this direction and the resistance along the surface act opposite to it. That is, the resistance along this curved surface will act in this direction. Means, if we apply a load, due to that load, the internal resistance get developed. That is, if I ask you to carry a load, your internal strength will be coming out and that will try to carry the load. Similar thing is happening in the soil also. When the wedge will try to move in this direction, the resistance will be in the opposite direction. When we apply some load, it takes the load up to its limit and when it exceeds the limit, the failure occurs. Next, I am moving into the next slide, which is the factors affecting shear strength. The first one is the soil composition. Soil composition includes the mineralogy, grain size distribution and shape of particles. The next one is the state. State is defined by the initial void ratio, effective normal stress and shear stress. The third one is the structure. It refers to the arrangement of particles within the soil mass. That is, the manner of packing or distribution of particles in the soil mass. The last one is the loading condition. Loading condition includes the effective stress path, drained, undrained, and type of loading. Next, I am moving into the practical applications of shear strength. It includes the design of foundations, embankment for dam, road pavements, excavation, and all. Shear strength have also application in the analysis of stability of slope, in the design of retaining structures and underground structures. Next, I am moving into the important portion in the shear strength, which is the Moore-Coulomb theory. Moore presented a theory for rupture in materials that contended that a material fails because of a critical combination of normal and shear stress, and not from either maximum normal or shear stress alone. Which means what it says? It says that any material will undergo some failure when some critical combination of normal and shear stress are happening. Critical combination means I cannot get a failure when the shear stress or normal stress is getting maximum. That is, the maximum shear stress and normal stress may not be the failure point. Rather, a critical combination of normal and shear stress cause the failure. That is expressed mathematically as shear strength, that is tau f, which is equal to the function of normal stress. A plot can be made between the shear stress tau and the normal stress sigma at failure. In this figure, D is the failure point and PD is the failure plane. When the failure envelope touches the Mohr circle, the failure will occur. Every material have a unique failure envelope. While looking into the next figure, we can see O as the origin, there is cohesion intercept, and the center point of the Mohr circle is C. A point A is considered below the failure envelope, which is the stable point, and point B is the failure point, and a point C above the failure envelope, which is not possible case. The shear strength of a soil at a point on a particular plane was expressed by Coulomb as a linear function of the normal stress on that plane, as S equal to C plus sigma tan phi, where S is the shear strength and C is the cohesion and sigma is the normal stress and phi is the angle of shearing resistance. For cohesive soils, there will be cohesion intercept, and for cohesionless soil, there will not be cohesion intercept, only theta will be present. Principal planes and stresses. Planes on which shear stress is 0 is called as a principal plane. Principal planes with maximum compressive stress and 0 shear stress is known as the major principal plane, and the principal plane with minimum compressive stress and 0 shear stress is called as the minor principal plane. And the planes with intermediate compressive stress and 0 shear stress are known as the intermediate principal stress. We can find the major principal stress by the equation, which is the sigma 1 equal to sigma 3 tan square 45 plus 5 by 2 plus 2c tan
45 plus 5 by 2. Sigma 3 is the minor principal stress. C is the cohesion of the soil in kilonewton per meter square. 5 is the angle of internal friction, and 45 plus 5 by 2, which is the angle of inclined plane with the major axis. Now let's discuss some problems. The first problem is, the table given below is the normal load and shear force for the specimen of sandy clay tested in the shear box. Plot the failure envelope for the soil and determine the value of apparent angle of shear resistance and apparent cohesion. The cross-sectional area is 36 cm square. Normal load and the maximum shear force are given. In order to do this problem, first we have to plot the graph. That is, normal parameter in x-axis and shear parameter in y-axis. Then we will get a graph like this. Then extend this graph into the y-axis so that we get the cohesion intercept. This is the cohesion intercept. An approximate value of 80 is obtained from the graph. Then the apparent cohesion intercept can be obtained by dividing it with the area. That is 80 divided by 36. 36 is given in the question. So we will get the apparent cohesion intercept as 2.22. Let us look another problem. The stress on failure plane in a direct shear test was conducted on a cohesionless soil. Normal stress 100 kN per meter square and shear stress 40 kN per meter square. Determine the angle of shear stress and angle which failure plane makes with the major principal plane. Find the major and minor principal stress. In order to do this problem, we have to plot a graph with normal stress in x-axis and shear stress at the y-axis. When we get the failure point, this failure point, which is corresponding to 40 shear stress and 100 normal stress, we will get like this. And it is given that cohesionless soil is used for the test. So cohesion intercept will be 0. We can extend this to the origin so that we get the phi. Phi is obtained as 20 degree. And the next one is to find the major and minor principal stress. We know that the distance from origin to this is the minor principal stress, and the distance from origin to this point is the major principal stress. So we got the major principal stress as 158 kN per meter square and minor principal stress as 74 kN per meter square. Then one more is to be find out angle which the failure plane makes with the major principal plane, which is equal to 45 plus 5 by 2, which is equal to 55 degree. That's all about my presentation. Thank you for listening to me up to this time. Thank you.